Right before the trial, the boatbuilder's body was found.
Holmes agreed to give his version of events in court, but the day before the trial he was found in his car with a gunshot wound to the head. The police weren't sure if he had taken his own life or if someone else had. There was also a theory that he hired a hitman to end his life so that his family could still collect life insurance. He had withdrawn PS500 from the bank the day before, so it seemed plausible. Either way, this was a big problem. Without Holmes's testimony, there wasn't enough evidence to convict Brady.
The case was solved by a wealthy boat builder and drug dealer.
After attempting to take his own life, Holmes told the police everything he knew. Patrick Brady had ended James Smith and cut up his remains, dumping most of it into the ocean in a drum. He had kept the arm and brought it to Holmes's house, where Brady blackmailed Holmes and threatened to do the same to him if he didn't pay his debts. Holmes maintained that when Brady left, he tied a piece of rope around the arm and threw it into the ocean.
After police questioning, a witness tried to commit suicide.
After Holmes was brought in for questioning, he shot himself while out in his speedboat and fell into the water. But the bullet didn't end his life as intended, and he climbed back into the boat a little wounded. There were people out on the harbor who had witnessed this incident, and they called the police. That initiated a wild goose hunt around the harbor as police chased Holmes until he gave up. He went back in for questioning, and this time, he told them the whole story of Patrick Brady and the severed arm.
A taxi driver came forward with crucial information.
With Patrick Brady as a suspect, police were onto something. But when a taxi driver came forward, that's when the case unraveled. He admitted to having driven Brady, the day after James Smith was last seen, to Reginald Reggie Lloyd Holmes's house. According to the witness, Holmes was bad news. He orchestrated elaborate drug smuggling rings and insurance scams under the guise of a boat building business. Both Smith and Brady worked with Holmes, even though Holmes initially claimed not to know either of them. The police suspected that something had gone horribly wrong with one of their transactions, but couldn't extract any information out of the men. Holmes refused to talk and was released from questioning. Brady was charged in connection to Smith's passing.
The aquarium terminated the shark and messed up the investigation.
Just 3 days after the severed arm was found in the tiger shark, the CoogeeAquarium in New South Wales terminated the shark and gutted it. This hampered the criminal investigation, as every inch of it was supposed to be examined for medical evidence. Still, no other human remains were reported to have been found in the shark, which later corroborated Holmes's story about how Brady disposed of the evidence.
Police found a suspect in local small-time Crook.
When James Smith's final movements were tracked, police found that he'd been playing dominoes with a friend named Patrick Brady at a local seaside hotel bar. Brady had a few prior convictions and was known to be a little shady. Looking into it further, they discovered that Brady had vacated his apartment right after Smith had gone missing. His apartment had been deeply cleaned. Furniture and bedding had been replaced, including a brand new trunk. There was even a rowboat there, and it had been cleaned from top to bottom. Police found this suspicious. Brady became the prime suspect in the investigation, but there was no motive yet.
The tattoo was a crucial clue in cracking the case.
When the homicide investigation was launched, the arm was examined for unusual marks or scars. There was a rope tied around the wrist, which suggested to police that something sinister had occurred. The appendage also had a tattoo of two boxers in sparring position, which they desperately hoped someone in the public would recognize. A man named Edwin Smith came forward and identified the tattoo and the arm it belonged to. It was that of his brother, 40-year-old James Jimmy Smith, a boxer who had recently gone missing. The discovery led to more questions. How did Smith's arm end up in a shark? And where was the rest of him? The police used the information Edwin provided to trace James Smith's last movements and try to find a suspect. Pretty quickly, they found that one of Smith's friends was up to no good.
A shark expert concluded that the shark had not bitten off the arm.
When one finds a human arm in the belly of a shark, chances are the shark pounced on a swimmer, and things ended in a bloody mess. But when shark experts were called in on April 25, 1935, to examine an arm a new shark arrival at the CoogeeAquarium had regurgitated, they found that it had not been bitten off. In fact, there were no tooth marks on the arm at all. Instead, experts determined a blade had been used to separate the limb from the shoulder. This was very troubling, as it indicated officials were not dealing with an accident. New South Wales authorities had a homicide on their hands. The case opened up as detectives further examined the arm for clues.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.